Hello, my name is Wang Shuo. My student ID is SUKD 1801851. The entire content of the presentation is derived from individual assignment. It was divided into 4 parts based on personal papers. The 4 parts are all answers to the individual assignment questions. The first part is about a typical binary process undertaken in the business organization. Budgets are mostly planned and submitted to the high level of the management by the low level of the management, since they are the ones that are more acknowledged and meaningful of how the organization's operations are running. For example, in order to have an exhaust budget, it is important for each department head to report their budget for the next week or next month. This is because the department manager is the one who knows how much money they plan to spend. The budgets drifted by the low levels of management must be negotiated with varying levels of power by the high level of the management. This intervention entails obtaining budget clearance and acceptance by various levels of power. Therefore, budget negotiated is used to retrieve an agreement among organizations. For example, high level of the management cannot allow a budget drifted by a low level of the management. However, it will debate and negotiate the budget before it is approved by all level of the management. The next part is the decision or the zero basis, the budgeting approach as the best ways for companies to cut costs during the COVID-19. The zero-based budgeting approach is a form of budgeting that helps the business to cut costs. The zero-based budgeting approach enables the company to forecast the future demand and expense. As a result, a zero-based budgeting approach focuses on reducing spending. There are some benefits of using zero-based budgeting. It provides the extra number, it reduces spending, it improve the coordination. When faced with continued COVID-19, any organization can take the zero-based budgeting approach. This approach is suitable for business since it helps them to recover how they handle their necessary expense and revenues. According to a case study in which the fashion film, Guess was able to save the millions of dollars in the first year. When faced with the COVID-19, Guess cut expense by forcing the workers to operate from home. Jobless employees or lost wage are shifting the retail shop to the internet. The next part is ways performance of the companies can improve in terms of the planning, control, and decision making. One of the goals that was contributed to an effectively management of an organization is planning. It maybe occur at any stage, including developing strategies that is suitable for the companies long-term successful operating the organizations and establishing they are required to management the whole of the operation. For example, uh, the budget does not only rely on the expense cut, but rather than on the reinvesting the cost gain in the organization research and growth. As decided in the case study, Burnt as a list chief financial officers in planning for long-term improvement in their business. As a result, it is important to purpose repair ahead of the time of the improvement. The next is control. Control refers to whether or not an organization's plans have been carried out successfully. Any company can prepare for its potential successfully. As a result, it is critical to think about which strategies the company can use when it comes to running its operations. Budget discipline is a critical sense. Management must determine where to spend in motion, delivery, and creativity. In the case study, the CFO of the gas was able to keep their budget under the control when dealing with the COVID-19 by reduce the capital expenditures to 6 million. The last one is decision making is critical for improve an organizational efficiency. After a process of preparation of the maintaining the final phase is to make a decision. Managements can decide whether to spend when weight all of the advantage and disadvantage these companies can face. When faced with the COVID-19, for example, the CFO of the gas agreed to jobless workers and a lower range rather than risk missing a few $1 million, as explained in the case or in the case study. The last part is contributions which the management accountants make to organizational the binary control through the compulsions technique. By using all the capital budgeting, the shareholders can maximize their income by making the smaller investment decision. But they must fund consider and cost capital budgeting strategies that may exist. Shareholders in determining whether investment are profitable. CVP analysis is a cost accounting tool for determining how for increase in cost and value would impact the operating profit and net profit company. CVP measurement is in determining the break-even stage. CVP studies will exist in determining obtaining increase income targets. And thanks for your listening.